Hi friends, Miss Becca back with another fun craft that you can do on this snow day. These are mittens. All you'll need for this craft is a piece of paper, an 8.5 by 11, a pencil, and some sort of coloring tool. Maybe markers, crayons, whatever you have at home. Even if you have paint, you could totally use paint. I have these twistable crayons. I do have some markers, but they're pretty dried out because my daughter left the cap off of them. And I do have paint, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use these twistable crayons. If you have colored pencils, you could also use those. You're going to also need a pair of scissors. Now, if you have yarn, that's a perk, and we can definitely use that at the end. You're going to start with your paper long ways, like a hot dog, not a hamburger. And we are going to fold it in half. Once it's folded in half, go ahead and give it a good crease. Once it's creased, we're going to go ahead and trace our hand. So you're going to start with whatever hand you don't draw with and lay it flat on the paper. You want your thumb to be out because remember, mittens have a thumb piece. You're going to trace around your hand, making sure you don't go between your fingers. Create an oval at the top. Trace around your thumb and finish it off at the bottom by connecting the two lines. From there, you're going to create the little piece at the bottom that has fabric. And then we're going to flip our paper over to the other side. Now, if you use your right hand, you're going to use your left hand this time. And I won't lie, I'm not very good at drawing with my left hand. So you'll see here in a second, it's a little bit wonky. No big deal. I'm going to go ahead and fix that with my pencil. Nice and lightly. I'm going to come in here and fix my wonky lines and then connect the bottom like I did on the other one. I'll also want to erase those just because I don't want them to get in my way a little bit later. Now that I have those done, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Here's where the fun part comes in. You're going to use whatever coloring tool you have. Again, I have these twistable crayons, and you're going to begin your design. You may want to take a second and plan out what you want your gloves to look like. No matter what you do, you're going to want to go around the outside with a solid color to give yourself a good guideline for your design to stay within. Now, you're going to see here that I'm going ahead and I'm sketching it out a little bit around the outside to give it a thicker edge. This is to give me more grace when I'm doing my design because when I cut it, I'm going to cut part of that off. So I don't want it to be too skinny to make my life harder later in the end. So right here, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going ahead and making it a little bit of a thicker line, adding some texture. Also, gloves are usually knitted or made from thick fabric, giving it that texture. Going back in there because I forgot that little piece at the bottom. Once you've decided on your design, go ahead and get started. On this one, I'm going to give you an example that's great for first grade and kindergarten. Like we talk about in class, this is a wavy line, wavy like the Navy. Then I'm going to do a zigzag up and down, up and down. The next one I'm going to do is dashes, quick lines. Then I'm going to come in and do my loop-de-loop line, giving some more interesting character. Next is just a good old straight line. Once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and begin designing the bottom part of my mitten. Right here, you're going to see I'm going to use lines again to create some texture. I'm also going to use multiple shades of blue. That's going to really give it the textured look that I'm looking for. Remember, mittens are made of yarn or fabric, so we want it to have that thick texture look. Crayons are great for this. If you have markers, you could definitely use different shades to create some variety. I'm going to go in with green along with my blues because it goes nicely together. Then I'm going to begin to color in my different sections. I might color each one a different color. Who knows? Go nice and slow, stay controlled, keep your lines tight so that it doesn't look like scribbles. Take your time, this is fun. When it's done, it might look like this. Lots of fun colors. Next, I'm going to start on my next mitten. On this one, I'm going to show you something that's probably better for kids in older grades. Decide on your design. Then you're going to go ahead and do your bottom part like you did the other. Lots of colors, different lines. Give it some arch, some character. From here, I'm going to go in. I decided to do a Valentine's design. So I'm going to go into the center and make a heart shape. Once I have that drawn, I'm going to go ahead and fill it in with the same color. From here, I'm going to do a tie-dye theme. I thought that would be fun and creative on this snow day, also bringing some joy and color. When I'm doing a tie-dye theme, it's really easy to start with a solid shape in the middle and work my way out from there. Once I'm done with my heart, I'm going to select my first color. Making scribbles, I'm going to follow the shape of the heart. When I'm finished with this color, I switch to the next. You're going to notice I overlap them a little bit so that the colors blend together. I'm also going to just select many different colors and shades that go together that are bright and fun. It might look like this when you're done. Grab your scissors and go ahead and cut around the outside. Remember, keep your hands safe. Rotate the paper, go nice and slow. From here, this is a little bit of a tricky part. You could stop if you do not have yarn. These are super cute, just as they are. But if you do have yarn, go ahead and fold the corner over that's closest to your thumb. And you could go ahead with a pencil and draw a triangle. I didn't because I thought I'd be okay without it. I'm going to cut out that teeny tiny triangle, and that's going to give me a hole. I'm going to do that on both of them. Now, if you have a hole punch, that's definitely the safer way to do it. I couldn't find my hole punch this morning. It's probably at the school. I was using it there last. No big deal. I'm just going to cut this little triangle out. Once I've finished with this one, I'm going to go ahead and do the next one also. Again, I'm going to just fold it over and cut a tiny triangle out. When those are finished, here comes the tricky part. I'm going to lay them so that the thumbs are facing one another on my table. Go ahead and grab your yarn. Measure the length of your arm. Remember, we use the measurements, the things that we can measure with that we have at our fingertips, which today may be your arm. Once you have that measured, go ahead and give it a cut. Begin with whichever mitten you would like. You're going to feed the string through the front of the mitten. Once you have that pulled through, bring your mitten to the middle of the string. Make sure your strings are nice and even. Then you're going to loop it around your fingers loosely, not tightly. Once you have your loop, go ahead and from the middle, grab your string and pull it through. Bring the knot as close to the mittens as you possibly can get it. Then you're going to lay it flat so that the thumbs are facing one another again. Stretch your string out. This time you're going to go through the back of your mitten instead of the front. So the string that's closest, you're going to feed through the back of your mitten and pull it through just like you did the other. Maybe give it some room so it's not right up on the knot. Then you're going to combine your string together again. Make a loop. Pull your string through the loop on the back side. And when it's done, it's going to look like this. You're going to go ahead and take those two top ones and tie a nice knot. And when you're finished, your mittens can hang just like this. Maybe you have a doorway you'd like to hang them from. Thanks for joining me today.